Okay. First speaker is Walt Chappell. Welcome, Walt. Our speakers are allowed 3 minutes to address the topic at hand. So.
First of all, I want to compliment each of you. As board members, you've handled a very difficult budget item here. And Linda, your preparation as always is very good. This is a tough year, and all of us know that. It's not going to make a whole lot of surprise to anyone to know that we've got a major series of decisions to make. I'm speaking as a citizen tonight, not as a state board member. I'm very concerned as a citizen of Wichita that we make some wise decisions, but I've also had my ear to the ground in the legislature and also in listening to the legislative updates from Washington. And I'm concerned that we don't put the cart before the horse. I noticed tonight on the consent agenda that over $1 million of items were approved by the board by just voice vote, saying yes or no on the consent. $1 million to pave parking lots, to buy property, to expand facilities. In one case, about $500 million or $500,000 to put a new roof on a school. All that is nice, but at the same time, we've got some major decisions to make, and as Lenora and others pointed out, there's a lot of concern on the part of staff. Am I going to have a job next year? Is the program going to be able to be funded? What do we do with the budget decisions we're facing? So I'd simply ask that not put the cart before the horse. There's a lot of things up in the air. As you know, the regulations coming down from Washington are not clear at all. We got into a major bind here in the state of Kansas because of a $1 billion increase over the last 3 years of funds that were allocated after the Montoya case. Those $1 billion now are a big hole. We have a lot of people hired that are questioning, do we still have a job? And the fact is, we don't know. You don't know as a board whether you can honor contracts. And as pointed out this evening, some of these other districts are saying, well, we're just going to say all of the contracts are up for renewal and we'll just wait and see. That puts a lot of people on pins and needles. So what I'm suggesting is before you do any more on bricks and mortar, before you make any more decisions about issuing bonds, that you first focus on the kids and the teachers. Make sure we don't have to cut programs for the driver's ed, for the deaf, the blind, for the special ed, for all the other kids that we're facing that have high dropout rates, that have concerns about getting employable skills. We do not have currently enough in the budget to handle vocational ed and all the other needs that our kids have. So I would ask you to please hold off on any decisions about bonds, any more decisions about buying more property, paving more parking lots, putting more money into bricks and mortar, and instead focus on the kids and the teachers of this district and give us all a chance to come together in May and make those decisions. Thank you for your time.
Betty, did you have a question?
Actually, I have a comment because it concerns me that, first of all, you, without understanding and without knowing what's going on, that you would come before the board and criticize decisions that we make. Now, I ask you, what difference would it make to keep a job if there's no roof? What difference would it make if you're talking about we're putting the something before the horse or whatever? You know, thank you.
It's called the cart before the horse.
Okay, whatever you call it. It concerns me that you have the audacity to come before this board and criticize us for doing the job that we were elected to do, which is to look after the total thing and not just an isolated thing. That really bothers me, and I just like to point out that before you criticize us again, maybe you need to do a little more homework on the decisions that we make.
Okay. Connie?
Mr. Chappell, I have to tell you, I am very upset by your comment. This board always puts children first, and don't you ever come back to us again and say we don't, because we always put kids first.
Thank you for coming, Walt. I would encourage you to understand the budget enough to know that the money that we spend on parking lots and it comes out of the capital outlay, that's money that we can't be spending, on teachers. We have a very complicated budget. I would think you would understand that at the state level. There are 20 or 30 different funds. They cannot be spent one over the other. It's really just the general fund that we have the most leeway with. So. But you're welcome as an individual to have those opinions. If you would like to, have more information about the budget, we'd be more than happy to have you ask those questions. So, thank you.
I appreciate that. I have quite a bit of information and knowledge of budgeting.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, Walt.
It's a concern I think all of us will share. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Linda?